how we got from huge deficits to surpluses like we did in the Clinton years. It was because we started to put in rules in place, like the PAYGO rules. Those got waived, and when they got waived in the early 2000s, it created the structural, not the one-time spending that the Recovery Act, that cost money, but the structural deficit from doing things like the Bush tax cuts, which were completely unpaid for, creating Medicare Part D, which is a great program, but you don't create a great program without paying for it. And you throw two wars on top of that, you know, and you've got $400 billion going out the door to the drug companies as a result, and you're surprised that there's a deficit. Those sorts of structural problems, we can't do that anymore. So if somebody wants a new tax cut, we have PAYGO rules again, because the Democrats put them in place, and the Republicans voted against them. And so when we went and we put the money back into the teachers to keep people in the classroom recently, when we did that, we paid for it. And the way we paid for it was we closed a tax